Hello and welcome to the channel. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is making sure that everyone he needs to run a successful government is in place to actualize his ambition. Whether he steps on a few toes or ruffles some hairs along the way, it must be his way. With the emergence of the Senate President and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and how they emerged victorious despite the opposition, Tinubu is hell-bent on manipulating the system for his personal gain. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Akpabio, Abbas, democracy defenders or rubber stamp duo. As Nigeria's political landscape shifts with the emergence of Godswill Akpabio as Senate President and Tajuddin Abbas as Speaker of the House of Representatives, citizens and experts alike are left pondering the implications for the nation's democracy. The recent events have raised questions about the principle of separation of powers among the executive, legislative, and judiciary branches of government, as well as the place of women in Nigerian politics. Less than 24 hours after the election into the leadership of the two chambers of the National Assembly held, the senator representing Borno South District, Ali Ndume, said Tinubu, as an experienced politician, convinced many lawmakers to ensure the emergence of his preferred candidates. Ndume, who made the disclosure in an interview with Channels Television, said Tinubu deployed his foot soldiers to deliver his preferred candidates. He also revealed how President Bola Tinubu allegedly sneaked out to persuade some lawmakers to support his preferred candidates for the 10th National Assembly leadership positions. Although Section 51A, B, and Section 92 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria provide that the leadership of legislative houses, federal and state, shall be elected by its members, the executive, which is not assigned any role in the exercise by the Constitution, as it did in the case of the judiciary, however, influences to a large extent those that emerge as leaders of the legislative houses. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's endorsement of both candidates has drawn mixed reactions. For instance, while anchoring the morning show on Arise TV last Wednesday, popular broadcast journalist Rufai Oseni expressed his concerns, saying, "I can't see them, Akpabio and Abbas, not being a rubber stamp legislature." Oseni's words echoed the fears of many who witnessed the tumultuous 9th National Assembly, plagued by controversies such as the Senate's amendment of the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Act. This amendment allowed for a raise of the Apex Bank's Ways and Means advances from the current 5% to 15% of the previous year's actual revenue of the federal government, which occurred 2 days before the end of former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. This was to pander to President Buhari, as was their trademark throughout that administration. Additionally, the Red Chamber gave speedy approval of the ex-president's request to pay the judgment debt in the sums of $567 million, £99 million, and £226 million, barely 5 days before the end of his term. Moreover, the executive's unauthorized purchase of arms worth $1 billion raised concerns as it bypassed the normal legislative process and unilateral decisions were made to buy the arms using administrative measures. The Hour reports that the executive used its resources and influence to support the ruling All Progressives Congress APC's nomination of Akpabio and Abbas to federal lawmakers-elect. To better understand the potential implications for Nigeria's democracy, Saturday Vanguard reached out to several lawyers and civil rights activists for their insight on the situation that played out, wherein both Akpabio and Abbas were anointed by President Bola Tinubu. Those who view the situation as a threat to Nigeria's democracy argue that it undermines the democratic principles of separation of powers and checks and balances. They said the interference was not only a precarious warning sign, but damaging to the nation's democracy. They strongly suggested that the legislature should hold its ground and conscientiously protect its independence as guaranteed by the Constitution. It is democratically wrong for the executive to influence election of leaders of legislative houses, but OCJ Okosha San. It is not right, but you see, it is not done openly. Of course, every governor will be interested in who is heading the legislative arm of his government. The belief is that if you have your own man there, you can be sure that things will flow as you want them to flow. It is in the interest of the executive to secure the candidates of his choice for those positions. But democratically, it is wrong. The House should be independent of who should be their heads. So should the Senate, which is the other chamber in a bicameral legislature. So, it is a human factor. The appointment of heads of court and judges. The truth of the matter is that the roles and functions relating to the appointment of judges and heads of the court, like chief judges, president of the customary court of appeal, president of the court of appeal, chief justice of the Supreme Court, are all well analyzed in the Constitution. The NJC does not appoint. NJC recommends persons for appointment to such an office, and this was really a well-thought-out decision that was taken a long time ago. They used to have what they called Advisory Judicial Committee, AJC, but now we have an NJC, which is like the recommending authority, and when they recommend it, the executive, president, governors will now make the appointment, which will eventually have to be confirmed by the various concerned legislative houses. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. So, this was built into the Constitution to secure a measure of independence and also to ensure that all three arms of government are working in synchronization. They synchronize themselves so that no particular arm of government can claim entire power or sole authority for the appointment or removal of those judicial officers mentioned. So long as matters are handled with objectivity and altruism, things will not go bad, and that is the hope that all of us have, but it has always been abused. The legislature, President horse trading people's destinies. Dr. Akpo Mudiaga OJ, constitutional lawyer, facilitator of the Center for the Advancement of the Rule of Law. On influencing the leadership of the legislature by the president, it has been a very regrettable new trend, which is a fratricidal infraction into the supremacy of the Constitution and the ideological separation of powers. It is not unusual for a president to lobby for the election of a person he can have a seamless working relationship with. However, what obtains in Nigeria today is anything but lobby. On the contrary, the legislative leadership is foisted on that supposed independent arm of government by the president. It is so overbearing, if not over-abrasive, on the independence of the legislature. The matter even becomes worse when both the sponsored leadership and the president hail from the same party. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.